I do want to continue our discussion, though, about Jimmy Kimmel being ripped off of the air. You can see, if you're a YouTube segment viewer, the past segment where I give the broader thoughts and the context, but I'm sure you've heard about it. And now you have that same MAGA influencer who Brendan Carr, the FCC commissioner, was on the show of saying, these local affiliates and ABC better do something, otherwise they're going to get the CBS treatment, essentially. Benny Johnson then comes out after a bunch of his counterparts are going, no, this is not government abuse. This is just a private company making a private decision despite it happening right after a threat from the government. Then he posts, breaking, Jimmy Kimmel faces federal investigation for falsely claiming on air that Charlie Kirk's assassin was MAGA. That's not the exact wording, but I won't get into that whole debacle again. Yes, there was inaccuracy to it. And guess what? Especially in times like this, people make inaccurate statements, but it wasn't mockery or hatred, hostility even. It wasn't. And even if it were, it's not Trump's job or the FCC commissioner's job to be ripping people off air because they say stuff that they don't like. And if our standard is that level of inaccuracy, which is like interpretive inaccuracy, I would call it inaccurate, then, Benny, what are we going to do with your platform?
What's up, guys? It's Benny.
You have the sloppiest. It's like, I can't even think of an analogy. It's so insane. When you say something totally normal, get the applause ready, don't play it yet. When I hear you go, hey, I think staying hydrated is good, I'm like, it's a shocker. You rarely say things that are correct. Okay, anyways. Jimmy Kimmel faces federal investigation, he said. And then the Daily Mail, but it has an ad blocker. But you see it. Jimmy Kimmel faces federal investigation after telling viewers Charlie Kirk suspect Tyler Robinson was MAGA. He said was one of the... Okay, already. Federal Communications Commission boss Brendan Carr told conservative podcaster Benny Johnson Wednesday he was considering investigation into Kimmel. So the feds, and this is being celebrated by Benny, that the feds, a Fed probe, might be underway soon. I can't even articulate this moment properly. There's a show called The Kirk Minihane Show, and it's like a sports podcast. And I was just heartened to see, in response to all of this, that this is the first clip I've ever seen of them. But my sense is, just given that it's a sports podcast, and from some of what he says, he doesn't like Kimmel. Kind of some people in that world are going, whoa, what is happening with the right wing right now?
And don't tell me that Jimmy Kimmel stinks. I agree. Don't tell me that Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are low. I agree. Don't tell me he's losing money for Disney. I don't know that, but that's probably true given the landscape of late night television. This was Trump and the FCC leaning on Disney, bullying them and the affiliate owners, and they capitulated to Trump. They're scared right now, and if Trump and the extreme right and this idiot who runs the FCC, they don't like somebody, they're going to bully them down until... Look, if Jimmy Kimmel's making the ABC $30 million a year in profit, let's say, which I don't think he is, trust me when I tell you, that's not worth possibly losing a battle with the FCC. It's worth many, many $billions worth more than that. And Trump, who is a big, whether you like Trump or not, and look, I thought Trump was elected in 2016 initially, and then again in 2024 because of immigration. Because some people don't like the boys who are now girls play volleyball against boys. I thought that was kind of what was going on.
That's how it needs to be worded henceforth. That really makes it sound as silly of an obsession as it has become. That this is such a number one issue, immigration. Number two issue, boys who become girls who play in girls sports and volleyball. I'm a one issue voter, and my one issue is boys who became girls who played in the girls volleyball tournament in East Ohio. That's my number one issue.
But this is now more just like, hey, like, let's get our revenge against the left, these liberal pussies, by being bigger pussies. And if they just came out and said that is a revenge guy, is somebody who's petty, I'd say, great.
Love it.
Great. Yeah. I'm with you. Like, that's pathetic. Yeah. It's weird, but they're not doing that. I'm getting the Jerry Callahans and the and the Matt Walshes of the world and the Mama K's of the world telling me like, no, what they did was what we're telling is the truth. What they're doing, and it's like, man, look, I like Trump sometimes. I don't like Trump sometimes. This is fucking frightening.
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you. I don't like being called a liberal P word, but I think that was the correct take.
Soy boy beta cuck, Luke Beasley.
Hey, whoa now. He didn't call me all of those things. And then here he made such a good point. And you heard him say, I like Trump sometimes, I don't like him sometimes. So that's the context that he's making these criticisms. And he's going, why is it now seemingly the right wing who on free speech is becoming a bunch of P words?
I always do the left.
While you watch this, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. It is free, but it's greatly appreciated. All you got to do is click, and joy will be eternal. Don't try to fact check that.
No, right now in 2025 at 10:06 on September 18th, the extreme right are the biggest group of pussies that has ever existed in America. Because people with green hair at Starbucks, and because once in a while a fucking guy swam against girls, you fucking pussies have broken in half, led by the duo of Donald Trump and Consequence Culture Portnoy, who is just waving his arms at the right to like him again after the thing last week where he said it was Trump's fault, privately and publicly, that Charlie Kirk died. Now he's like, I got to get them back. Typical, I will say, fits the tribe profile.
It's an interesting shift because I actually do agree, while often the response was hyperbolic from the right, there was a sect of the left that was going totally ham and getting way too sensitive about things. And how much was that influential? How much was it in the government? Not really, but it did impact people, and it felt like you were going on social media and every little thing, and oh, you said this 15 years ago. And so that caused a level of awareness about how oversensitivity, you wouldn't think of that, but that oversensitivity can be weaponized. But then the worst of that culture was solidified, 10x'd, governmentified, authoritarianified, and we're now witnessing it, which makes that look so cute in comparison. And it is the right wing that is not just representing, he used a particular word, but like this weird level of obsession with punishing anyone that makes them feel bad, but actually putting it into policy. And again, put this back with the President of the United States.
When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, that's all they do. If you go back, I can say I haven't had a conservative on in years or something, somebody said, but when you go back and take a look, all they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that.
All they do is hit Trump. They're not allowed to do that. Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell said, get a lawyer, Brendan Carr, and save your documents. In a Democratic majority, your ass is going to be in a witness chair for a long time. It's all coming out, all of your corrupt deals. And this is the aforementioned Brendan Carr.
I do wonder, and I think many people do, whether you really are just targeting comedians who who typically through the years have made fun of political figures in a way that because the president simply is offended by it.
No. Look, again, broadcast TV is different. We're on a cable show right now. You don't have an FCC license. You don't have an obligation to serve the public interest. Podcasts don't either. Stand-up comedians, whether they're on lots of forms of communications, don't. And Kimmel is free to do that. But if you have a broadcast TV license, that means that you have something that very few people have. And you're excluding other people from having access to that valuable public resource. And it comes with an obligation.
So number one, Trump's going after more than just broadcast TV. Number two, the Ministry of Truth, that they want to set up where Brendan Carr tells us what's in the public interest. And it just so happens to be the people who don't like Trump are never in the public interest. Well, now, if that's okay with you, if that sounds aight, MAGA, then just imagine a President Jane Williams leveraging that same power.